This is Stephen Frew for Scaffolding Your Marriage, Scaffolding Your Life, really. I'm an old guy and I've been around a long time. I've heard a lot of music and I like music. There was a song by Frank Sinatra. Back, if you've ever heard of Frank Sinatra, he was a big deal in the 60s and 70s and 80s. Anyway, he sang a song that went something like Another Bride, Another June, another sunny honeymoon, another season, another reason for making whoopee. A lot of shoes, a lot of rice, the groom is nervous, he answers twice. It's really thrilling, this cat's so willing to make whoopee. And then he says, picture a little cottage out where the roses bloom. Picture that same sweet love nest, see what the years have brought. He's washing dishes and baby clothes. He's so ambitious, he even sews. But don't forget, folks, that's what he gets, folks, for making whoopee. Now, 30 years later, he sang this song, I Did It My Way. And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friends, I'll say it clear, I say this thing of which I'm certain. I lived a life that's full, and let me say, not in a shy way, oh no, I did it my way. Now we're talking about imagination. That song's about imagination. Really, it is. Because the young man, washing dishes and baby clothes, he's so ambitious he even sews. He's in the hormone cocktail. He's in the initial phases of what we call falling in love. In the scaffolding model, we call that love's origin. Everything is kind of cooking around the hormone cocktail and the newness and our vision to be with each other and what we get, how much we like the way that person looks or talks or laughs. It's all wonderful. That's love's origin, and there's a cosmic energy to that. In other words, it's like the Big Bang. That something happened between two people and you came together and you said, wow, wow, I've never met anybody like you. Wow, I love the way you kiss. I love the way you hold my hand when we cross the street. I love the way you listen to my jokes and laugh even when they're corny. We love each other, enjoy each other. That is immediately followed with every single one of us by a phase we're going to call the elementary phase. It is establishing our kingdom. It is finding a nest. It is filling the nest with furniture and things and art and whatever. It is our career phase. It is our community connection. It is being part of our extended family. There's all kinds of things to that elementary phase. Some of us even agree to have children. And that's really clear in this model. If you have children, then you're going from love's origin, you're using the energy in love's origin to establishing your kingdom, to establishing a way of living together on this planet for however long you have, and using the energy of love's origin, but also using the energy of that all of us have within us, we call roommates. That is, how are we to get along? What do we need to do? How much money do we need to spend? How much money do we need to save? All of those issues, common sense issues, are in the elementary phase. And that goes on, you could say, you could argue, of course this isn't scientific, don't misunderstand me, but you could say that goes on for the first 10 to 15 years. The children become adolescents. If you use that model, think of it that way, even if you don't have children. The children become adolescents as you yourself become an adolescent. What? Well, yeah, you come into midlife. You know, menopause isn't some disease. It's a transitional phase for a woman that's profound. And it's also profound for the man she's with. So what happens there is that change is coming. And we're in now our 40s or our 50s. And what worked and what we focused on before is not so important as what? The questions we have. What am I going to do with the rest of my life? Is this the right person for me? What about this job? What about this career? Do I like where we live? Do I like this part of the country? Do I like the weather and the climate here? What am I doing about my aging parents? Or brother, I haven't had a relationship in the last 10 years and I've been missing that and talking to a therapist about it. What am I going to do about my relationships if I'm a woman with men that I like, with men friends? Am I okay with going with that, or should I drop back from that? And he says, what do I do about the relationship with women that I know? that I don't have a very much of a relationship with, and I'm anxious around them, and I'd like to have more richness in my life. Okay, so we call that second phase, the first phase elementary, we call that second phase transitional. It is filled with questions. Questions about who you are, what you are, why you are, where you are, those kinds of questions. Those are self-definition questions. And they're beautiful questions if you can welcome them. The problem is, we're going to go to another video in a minute, the problem is what we tend to do is look at the difficulty of the questions and project that onto our partner. I am not happy in this job because you've never supported me. I am not happy in this marriage because my receptionist at work is beautiful and she laughs at my jokes. I am not happy in this marriage because when you come home you never really relate to me, you just go right in and turn on the television. We use it to attack and diagnose and cut up and dissect. But that's not, in terms of longevity, that's not helpful. We need a new model. We need to imagine a new way to be together. And that's what this series is about, rebirthing your imagination. Stephen Frew, I'll see you next time.